Do you think that you are the only one who does not have true friends and everyone else is so lucky with their friendships? Well, bullshit, and let me tell you why. First of all, if you got this impression from social media, that's ridiculous, because you should have realized until now that everything is not as shiny and sparkly as seems from the social media. Have you ever posted your downturns on social media? No, you just post when you are uplifted. And we all have these down cycles and up cycles in our lives. Nobody somehow talks about down cycles. And most of the people prefer to show off. Actually, one of my favorite philosophers, so to say, actually Jiddu Krishnamurti, a philosopher, one of my favorites, said, the greater the outward show, the greater the inward poverty. There is certainly some truth in this, but let's not take these words for labeling and judging people. Just take this as something to think about, because mostly it's true, I think. Let's repeat this. The greater the outward show, the greater the inward poverty. Never let somebody else's outward show to downlift you. That's crazy. And now let's talk about what should be your primary focus. And it never should be other people's life, in my opinion. Now, if we are here on this channel, we are trying to live our lives on its fullest. And we can never live our life to its fullest with focusing on other people. We should try to focus on our life. It does not mean that we need to be selfish and think about our own self. No. Is it your close people? Be present for them. Be present in your life, wherever you are, in your family, with your friends. It's very important. Focus on your life, because focusing on other people's life, it does not realize that never brings any benefit. Does it bring to you any benefit? If it just brings you negativity, it's not weakness to unfollow them. It's actually strength to defend your inner peace. It's a strength, not a weakness. But enough about this. Let's now think about what makes us think that we don't have friends and others have friends. It is actually I struggled with from my childhood. I was always unsatisfied with my friends, and I thought some other's friends, some other people's life were better than mine. And it came to me later to realize that it's just my mind-made illusion, and you never know what happens in other person's life. Well, somebody might have really good friends, good cycle, but you never know what they struggle with. Essentially, we all struggle, and nobody lives this life without pain. And all of us liberate ourselves through the pain. As you realize that all of us are in pain, liberating realization. Any rational mind would do when they feel like they don't have good friends is two things. First of all, if you are not satisfied with your friend, why don't you give up on them? I'm talking to myself, because I struggled with this all my life, and right now I struggle way less. But sometimes, especially if I'm tired or something, this very old mind-made pattern that is stuck inside me from my childhood still pops up. And I always have to remind myself First of all, if you don't like your friends, why don't you try to let them know what you don't like about them? That I did. I told my friends that it's not acceptable that if you are my good friend, never take my calls and then text me as if nothing happened. And if I call not 100 but few times, it means that I probably need to talk to you, and that's what friends are for. And if you are not available for me for many times in my life, it means that we are not friends. I explained this to my friend. But if this brings any benefit to your friendship, that's great, that could. But in my case, it did not bring any benefit other than my friend felt more frustrated about me being unhappy. In that case, why don't you just give up your illusions that about friendship and about this person? It's never about this person's fault, anything in the first hand. It's always inside us. We need to liberate us through our own self-development, and what we need to realize, it's just our expectations towards other people. If some person does not make you feel calm, content, or uplifted, you don't have to be around that person. You can give it a try, but if you fail a few times, just give up that illusion that you have friends. It's hard, I know. It's very hard. But you don't really need friends like that. It's illusion. And if you keep yourself in the illusion and in this never-ending cycle of being angry and being so-called friends and then being friends again and so on, it's never gonna bring a liberation. In order to bring in your life, I convinced throughout my life, something greater, we need to give up something. And if you don't want to give up your friend, you don't leave a room for something new to come to your life. Don't be scared. It's scary. Nobody wants to be alone, failed. You might look like a failed person if you don't have a friend. And of course, it's cool to have a friend, but it does not gonna help you if you are just keep fake friendships, right? You want a real relationship, and real relationships to appear in your life. We need to let some things go, let our judgments, let our expectations, let people go and just enjoy ourselves. Accept reality, whatever it is. That's when true changes can happen. Pass in order to go up to the next level. If you are keeping yourself emotionally triggered, you just failed this game. This is life game. You need to stop these repeating patterns happening, not impulsively, but your self-development should lead you towards self-liberation. And then I believe so, when wonderful things can happen to your life. But let's don't lie to ourselves. For me, it's a process. It's a really long process. And when something is really deep inside us, rooted, it's really hard to liberate ourselves from this kind of mind-made patterns, expectations, stuck in us from our childhood, but that's fine. Accept whatever it is. It's not your fault. It's fine. Just observe whatever going on inside you without judgment. Don't judge yourself. Don't